And we are live.
There we are. So pretty.
Hello,
Are we?
hello.
Hello, hello.
I don't feel pretty right now. I feel exhausted.
Oh no.
We're all exhausted.
Yeah.
My camera's not on because I'm having a bad hair day.
Excuses, Randy.
That's my
Right.
story. I'm sticking to it.
My hair's all over the place, but I'm here throwing the camera on.
Yeah.
You're gorgeous, Jim. You're gorgeous.
I washed it this morning and I can't do a thing with it.
I hate when that happens.
I just look like shit. It's fine. It's my table is full of caffeinated products. I had a medical setback this morning, so I was like,
Oh no.
well,
Oh no.
there goes the camera. That was
My husband will joke around and he say, I used to be built like a brick shithouse. Now I am a shithouse. So I think that comes with age, though. It has nothing to do with energy.
yeah. No, I look like Quasimodo right now, hunched
Oh,
over.
no.
Unclean.
I'm telling you what, though, I'm still recovering from MegaCon. I'm sure you guys are recovering too.
Uh-huh.
And just being out of practice from being in front of people and walking that much.
Mm-hmm.
I am way, way out of practice.
Yeah.
I've been sleeping all this week.
Uh-huh. Con crud.
Yeah, it's something. I think having all that time to sitting back on my ass doing nothing, besides streaming and everything. Now I'm like, oh, I have to go to a con, and man, I'm tired now.
Work in the real life.
Yeah.
Jim, how about you? Have you been out in the real world?
Oh God, no! I've still been in lockdown. I was in lockdown. I think I left 3 times total for that year. It felt like I ended up still getting COVID, and I haven't left the house in weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, what's funny is that I keep forgetting to take my allergy pills, so I've got the itchy eyes and just kind of low energy anyway. Plus, I'm tired because I feel like I'm still recovering, and so I woke up congested and everything because post-nasal drip, and I'm like, I've got the COVID. No, I think I'm fine. I think it's allergies. I can't help. It's in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think you'll know when it's there. For me, when it started coughing up blood, I'm like, I guess I should go to the hospital.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, Jim.
No, that
was a good sign.
That was not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm still using oxygen every so often. It's been months, so
yeah.
I'm a big guy too, so I'm sure that don't help. But I'm definitely afraid of getting that again. I don't think I could do that twice.
Yeah.
Plus, I can't afford it again. That hospital stuff's expensive.
Yeah. They want $12 for a Tylenol.
I know I asked for a box of tissues, and I'm pretty sure I paid $100 for it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, I'm going to hit the intro, then we can do our introductions.
All right.
Hello, everyone. I am back for a short period of time, and I got a busy month. Nita is not here tonight. She is celebrating C's birthday, so happy birthday, C.
Happy birthday, C.
But I got Meredith tonight.
Meredith is drinking water and coffee, so not too exciting. Not too exciting. And you've got a Varian, and you've got a Randy Zim too.
Yeah, they're not drinking either.
Oh man!
I think I'm the only one that has alcohol.
What are you drinking tonight?
Sour apple pucker.
Ooh.
I have coffee. Does that count?
I'll drink a Smirnoff with you if you want. I got a Smirnoff over here. I'll drink that.
Oh.
He's got Smirnoff.
Yeah.
Jim, what you got?
What's your drink?
I can pretend this is Irish coffee.
Oh, hey, I had that last night. I had my husband brought home this bottle of Writer's Tears. It's a single malt whiskey, which is delicious. But not one that I would ever do shots with. That is a sipping whiskey, folks. Writer's Tears.
I have to try that out. I'm my new name says what I am. Dr. Lord Reverend Varian Grant Esquire.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I've checked with all these titles, and I can use them all. I have proof that I'm a reverend. I have proof that I'm a lord. The doctor is iffy, but since Dr. Dre and Dr. Phil walk around calling themselves doctors, I figured, as long as I'm not giving medical advice out, I'm fine. But I found out today there is no legal precedent for Esquire.
Really?
No, there's no legal precedent for. In fact, Esquire is where it's created is for those looking to be knighted, and I am looking to add Sir to that long list of titles that I have. And I found out too that's complete bullshit. A guy got Sir for being a hairdresser. He got knighted for being a hairdresser. I need to go do something to the royal family. Another guy got knighted. He's from fucking Utah. You don't have to be English.
It's solely at the Queen's and the royal family's discretion.
Well, they're letting black people into the royal family left and right now. What about me?
It's only a matter of time.
I need to be out. See, I knighted because I don't think being sirred sounds right. Like I need to be sirred. That's feels like a mounting position. All right, come get sirred. Ugh.
I think I would rather have like another title, like Duchess.
Oh yeah,
Duchess Meredith.
well,
No, that sounds wrong. That sounds wrong.
Duchess Meredith of pick a city too. Yeah, pick it. Like mine is like Lord of something. I forget what little small parcel I have and where it's at, but yeah.
Well, if you were going to point to a map and say, I want to own that, what would it be?
Oh, I'd definitely be the Duke of Laughlin, Nevada.
Jim, how about you?
So I'll be, one of those lords of those fancy castles, but they're like built with like rebar and stuff out in the woods. So they're like the hillbilly lord.
The hillbilly lord.
The hillbilly lord.
There you go.
Duke of Budweiser.
Good Lord, does he even have an army in this castle?
Good Lord.
Oh my gosh. I hope it has a moat.
Yeah.
Zim, what about you?
Motor and emote. Here we go.
Emote.
I have no idea. I wouldn't want to be Lord of Flint, that's for sure.
Oh.
I am the Lord of Flint. Oh, yeah. Drink this. Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe the Lord of Ludington. I have no idea.
That sounds cool.
And the princess of
Power.
Italy.
Italy?
Italy.
Oh, a whole country. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I want the whole country.
The Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whole
Very
country.
cool. Very cool.
Princess of Italia.
Yeah, like I noticed I did like the Duke of Detroit. I don't want Detroit. Christ.
The Duke of Detroit.
Yeah.
You're gonna have like a chandelier on your car.
Yeah. Just ride around. Well, they used to do that. That's fallen by the wayside. Chandeliers in the car. Remember I don't know. You guys are stable. Something that didn't cross over into like. I'm gonna say. I think the last time I seen one might have been 2002, 2003. Do you remember the crowns? Crown air fresheners in the back of the Yeah.
Yes.
No one has those anymore. And I was looking.
I remember the Crown
Why?
Royal bag.
I wanted to put one on the desk at the cons for the Indie Princess.
Oh.
But I
Was
couldn't
it?
find
Didn't that sit next to like the Mary, the statue of Mary?
one. Depends on your ethnicity, yeah.
The statue of Mary.
Yeah.
It's the Virgin Mary.
The Virgin Mary.
Yeah. It's sitting next to her, and it depends on ethnicity, Yeah.
You can add the rosary to it too.
And they have the rosary.
That's for please don't let me get pulled over. My papers are bad. I don't have insurance. Please. I'm trying not to go to jail.
Oh man. Yeah.
So Jim's got dig 2 graves.
Mm-hmm.
Jim.
Yes.
Now you've got dig 2 graves. Now this is a graphic novel. This is different from your Kickstarter offering.
Yeah. So for the Kickstarter, we were doing like the floppies and like a whole lot of variants, and then I thought I wanted to try to get like the graphic novel out there because we're going to push it close to when all said and done, it'll be a little over 100 pages and 85, I believe, is just the story itself.
Hmm.
So we're, there's not as many variants. We did just kind of a few poster sets for this one, just to offer some other variety. But we're pretty much just sticking to just the graphic novel for anybody who missed out on the Kickstarter who wanted to. And plus, I didn't want people to think we were trying to double dip on them. So we're offering something a little bit different than the stuff we did for Kickstarter was for Kickstarter, and this is separate Indiegogo.
You mentioned that though about double dipping, because I mean you're still, your Kickstarter campaign is still open, correct?
No, that closed.
Okay.
So that's actually for the most part, like I said, book 2 was already done. I'm working with the letterer right now because there's some last minute edits on some pages I wanted to do. Like I told somebody, I said, you can read it 1,000 times. Then on that, 1,001st time, whatever, you're like, oh, I need to change some stuff. So I'm probably overthinking it, but yeah. So he's going to finish up those, and then book 2 is ready to roll. We'll have it out the door.
Have you now? Are you worried that the graphic novel crowd, or maybe a significant drop in the graphic novel because they already have the other, comprise the graphic novel, or has that been a concern, or are you seeing a reduction in numbers because of that?
Well, to be fair, I haven't seen any numbers on Indiegogo yet. Okay. I am struggling to find the audience that likes Indiegogo, or that's an Indiegogo crowd. So I'm kind of learning on this one that for Indiegogo, it looks like you need to have a built-in audience for it, kind of with it when you go launch, as opposed to Kickstarter. People seem to find that one more organically. Just throwing up stuff on Facebook, putting things on Instagram. We'll track, people will see the link and go. But with Indiegogo, for some reason, the stuff I use for Kickstarter just hasn't seemed to pull in any numbers just yet. So, but again, I'm still fairly new to the whole trying to advertise on social media thing. So I'm sure it's something I'm missing. And I'm working with some people to try to fix that. So I'm not as poor at getting the word out, I should say.
I hear people say that about Kickstarter a lot of times. On Indiegogo, like there's a difference between the crowd. I buy from both. I've made my differences on each platform clear in previous shows, not just this one but other ones. I don't know. I guess I'll have to see how it works, because Kickstarter, it was first. It was out there first, so people know it. They have the name, whereas Indiegogo is new and newer than in Kickstarter, and they've kind of they still have, I guess, to work themselves to the public consciousness as Kickstarter has.
Yeah, and I think too. I mean, I'm just speculating, but maybe the thought of where Indiegogo you pay right as you bid or right as you support, whereas Kickstarter you have time to kind of mull it over. And that might turn off some people. I'm not sure. So
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if we put up the amount of drop off, like everybody, like you take a comic and you look at drop off versus Kickstarter and Indiegogo, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a higher amount of drop off on Kickstarter, just because I fucked up a few times. I fucked up recently with 2 campaigns I didn't know they closed because I don't check that enough, and I'm used to paying for it and the money's gone. Mm. All I have to do is now waiting for my mailbox and wait for the item to arrive or not, depending on who you.
On Kickstarter, my issue was that there was a card on there that I had associated to it, and it had expired. Mm. So there was a canceled payment. But as long as you get in there before the week is out, it gives you 7 days to make sure that you get the payment settled. And I check
it so infrequently. I gotta be honest. Like I had to call the people. Like I had to contact them and say, "Hey, I'm so sorry about that. Let me PayPal you the money because I apologize. It slipped my mind. I did not realize that it had closed out. But here's the $45 or whatever it was for the the item that I bought. But I mean, Jim, let's hope that you can get some numbers with it. $78 right now is what you got.
Yeah, and like I said, it's set low for the most part. Like I said, so because we funded through Kickstarter, this is, like I said, it's just mostly for anybody who wants a chance at the graphic novel. Mm-hmm. And any extra funds we get is just going to go to the future project, book 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. So that's really all that this is at this point. So we're not trying to get anything funded. And like I said, I wanted to keep it at least different enough so people who did do the Kickstarter don't feel like they got like, hey, how come we're not getting this, and vice versa. So something different for people who want it.
Now the Kickstarter.
I'm one of those people, Jim.
Okay.
I backed the Kickstarter.
Oh, well, thank you.
So
I should have an update out tonight too, by the way.
did it? Okay, yeah, so yeah.
I will. I'm terrible. Like I can't think of whatever to say on the update. So if anybody is listening that backed it, there will be an update again tonight or early tomorrow. But I have it coming out tonight with some stuff. So
Cool. Well, now, are you? So you're still fulfilling the Kickstarter then?
yeah. So like I said, the book we haven't started fulfillment yet, just because like I said, the book is getting edited by the letter real quick.
Okay.
Like I said, I wanted to change some stuff on the last few pages. So sometime in September, we should have everything back from the printer, and then we'll start pushing. I think we put September on the Kickstarter, but it's probably going to end up being October, depending how fast the printer gets. I've never worked with this printer, but he's local to me, and I've had a lot of friends who've used him who also had Kickstarters, and I've seen their books, and they look good, but I just don't know the turnaround time that they do. So, but from what I understand, he's really good. So
That's cool. I wouldn't. I think that I'd be terrified. I'd be terrified to launch a graphic novel, especially when I got the other issues out there too. Oh man, I can't do this right now.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know what to expect, and honestly, a lot of it was I wanted to try just to see how Indiegogo is because I've heard some good about it. I heard the store aspect. I thought that might be nice to have the store up until the campaign, the next one launches. So people, then that was kind of the reason why I wanted to go Indiegogo for that. I know some people said they could do like backer kits and stuff. I know of them, but I'm not familiar with how they work. So, and I just thought about trying something new. So that's kind of where we're at with this. And like, so we're offering a few different things. There's a few extra prints. One thing I totally spaced it. We started this yesterday, I believe it was. So from yesterday to Sunday midnight, Pacific time, we're going to be adding an extra print to the next, to everybody who backs this weekend. And then, so that would give you 2 free prints that come with the graphic novel. And then if we reach 50 backers, if we happen to in that time frame, we're going to throw in some extra stuff, maybe some trading cards or another print. We'll just see what people would rather have, and we'll add those on there.
So for Indiegogo, are you creating like a featured tier or a secret perk or something like that? Where you're directing traffic?
Say that again?
So with Indiegogo, I know that you can do like secret links where you can like buy special invitation and something like that.
Oh, I am not aware of that.
Or do like a featured tier. Well, I see you've got one here.
Yeah, so that's just the main book. I mean, when I set it up, I don't know about the secret link thing. I'd have to I'm sure I saw it, and I'm just spacing what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I just spoke about is just kind of something we came up with. We did a show, like I said, yesterday, I believe it was. We wanted everybody to know that's what we were doing. So just trying to get some traffic towards it. And like I said, offered some fun prints. I didn't put anything on the actual site, which I probably should, but we were sending out to all our links and all the places we advertise with the actual, the print that we're giving out with it. And then you also get the one from Aaron Bartling, which is a little bit further down in the campaign. That comes with it automatically.
Yeah, I like the art on this book. I know when we looked at it last time, I thought it was definitely was. I don't want to say Tarantino-esque, but
that would
cool shots.
That would definitely be like what my hope is, because like I said, I'm a huge Tarantino fan. So obviously I don't want the comparison to Kill Bill. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite, but it's definitely not necessarily that kind of that style. That's the free print that'll also come with it.
That's I like that print.
Yeah, that's Aaron Bartling. I really like his stuff. And then just doing some mini poster sets, either mini or 11 by 17. A couple of those were on the actual Kickstarter, but then there's at least 1 or 2, I think, that weren't on the Kickstarter. So you have an option to get those just in poster form. And then, of course, the cameo, either just a show up cameo or an actual speaking role cameo. And for that one, like I say, you can tell me who you want. When I wrote the next few issues out, I always kind of keep certain parts open. So if somebody says, if somebody backed it and says, hey, I want to be a bad guy, or I want to be somebody who gets shot, or, just a good guy, something like that, there's spots we can put you in, and then you say you have a speaking role, and then you get all the free stuff on the next one as well.
DA2 Grays. Now, this particular title again is, you said it was mature, right? You suggested for mature readers?
Yeah, like I said, there's some nudity, not much, but there's some obviously violence. Somebody asked me the other day, and to compare it to something. I said it's kind of like a rated R movie, so it'd be in that realm.
I'll ask because I know I think Meredith dropped out. Yeah, her internet dropped her out. But here's the you've got when are you going to print this one? You think? Because I know you got your other book is still in editing. Will it be something you send directly to print afterwards, or?
Yeah. So like I said, since it's for the most part everything's done, and it's actually the same printer. I think for this one we put November. I want to say because it would just be I want to get all the other stuff for Kickstarter out, but the book itself would be just since we're not doing any variant covers, it's just going to be the one graphic novel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it should be a quick turnaround, especially if we only have a handful of backers. It'll be very quick.
They're saying that it's really hard it's really odd for people to do variant covers on graphic novels, but I think we're going to see that more. I know Lola did 2 different covers of Lore. She did a special cover.
I'll be doing it for Kickstarter too.
Yeah, and the Kickstarter cover. It's going to be different, so that's going to be cool. But I think that we'll start to see that more and more, especially within the next year or so.
Yeah, and this will probably be the one that you'll see when I eventually start going back to the shows and stuff. I'll obviously have the floppies, but I'll probably have the graphic novel there as well. That'll be the one that will be a little bit easier, I think, to sell. So at least from what I've seen, people seem to really. I enjoy graphic novels myself, so I don't have as much income or time to read the trades floppies as much as I used to. So a lot of times I just let the series run and then just go buy the graphic novels afterwards. So
yeah, I've done that. I tried for a while. I wasn't reading floppies. I was only getting graphic novels because they were, in a way, they were cheaper. A lot. We couldn't. You'd have to track down this like maybe the one issue out of that run that was that high, sought after issue. So I started buying just trades, and I've kind of come back to floppies.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain ones I just like to have, so I'll have my box and my pull or whatever. So, but yeah, I'm excited about it. Like I said, even if we don't necessarily hit our goal, I like the idea of it. So, like I said, it combines both books, but both books work over 42 pages, or they're at 42 pages. So right there, you're going to get over 80 pages of actual story. And then, we're going to put some concept art, some of the other variant art that was done for it. And depending, I see where we're at time-wise, we'll either have preview of the next book for Dig Two Graves, or we might include a preview of the next book we're doing that's in its own series called Hellrider. Give a few pages of that, but I'm not sure. It depends where the artist is at on those at that point.
Now, I have to ask too, because you're doing Indiegogo. Has anybody come to you and ask you, "Oh, we should have run that campaign on Kickstarter instead of Indiegogo"? Or you don't say who came to you, but have you gotten any of that yet?
No, like I said, for the most part, when I talk to people about it, I'm pretty open right up. Like, it was funded on Kickstarter, and now we're here for the graphic novel. So I think I kind of squash it quick, just because that's how I open with. But I haven't had anybody chat me directly about anything yet. Just lots, likes and stuff like that from people. You send out tweets or posts or Instagram and all that stuff, but no direct questions that I'm aware of yet. So
that's cool. I was, because some people, they're so overly concerned. I think that's fair to say, Randy, with who or where they're spending their money. So there are people who, if you're buying over on Indiegogo, they obviously they think that you're a horrible person, or if you're if you got your products over there, your projects over there, they make up these accusations or assumptions about you based on where you decide to make your money. And it's really weird and really foolish, childish. I think that's the word I'm looking for. But we tried to cover all the books. We were told at one point we shouldn't cover all the Indiegogo books, but that's how the booking falls sometimes. There are times where we've had shows that are just Kickstarters.
Yeah.
So I think people go where they feel comfortable, where they feel that they're going to make the most. That's what I would do anyway. I think that's what Lola did. She went over to Indiegogo because she knew that there were.
That's where my following was at.
Yeah, her following the Bible, and two, like you keep hearing these things that come out of some of these websites about these campaign sites and who's running them and blocking people. They just put a new person in charge of Kickstarter as their comic book person.
Consultant.
Yeah.
Now a consultant, not a czar.
Yeah, and they were like, I know the reports I was reading. They were like, she's worse than the last one.
Different labels, same taste. Yeah.
And it was worse than me because it's like, well, okay, well, we don't know her yet. I don't know her. Let's give her a couple weeks to do her job and let's see what she does. But then I started seeing pictures of people being blocked on Twitter, like preemptively blocked on Twitter. Never say anything to this person. Just went through it. Those are future customers. Those are future, customers or people who just, can promote your site or promote stuff on your site. And now they don't have access to. Well, now they don't have access to the site, but they don't have access to the person who's making the combo decisions over there. And I know that there was ideas that they were going to be blocking people from using the platform.
It almost seemed like a game there for a couple of days. Are you? I am.
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, you're not. What's wrong with you?
Randy, it started me on this whole thing this morning, and I was gonna talk about it on IndieVote.
Was it a?
But I guess now was it a what?
How? You said it started you on the whole thing this morning. Was it a big thing?
Yeah, it was a big thing. And, I started thinking, what we need to do in this industry, and I think Meredith has mentioned this before. She just popped in, so it's actually good that she's here. Well, we are getting to the point, at least in our industry, where building outside of those platforms that we have, Facebook, Twitter, whatever those platforms are, YouTube, it's going to be a necessity. Because when I say that Facebook owns your content, I don't mean they're coming in and taking your IP over. What I mean is that your stuff is up there at their discretion. At any point, they can come rip your page down, take out all your little bells and whistles. YouTube can do the same. Twitter, at any point, this content, you're using their services to put this content up there. And I think it's very important to be able to build something where you can control it, where you control what's going on. Yeah, sure. The FCC can always seize your website if you've been a bad person. Yeah, sure. But if you're just selling comic books, not talking about you doing anything like that, keep pushing your personal website, keep pushing your personal store, because all it takes is a keystroke over your Facebook, and your group is gone.
Nowadays, all it takes is posting the wrong meme or even saying the wrong joke.
Yeah.
And you're in jail for 3 to 30 to who knows how long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rather irritating.
Facebook is, like going back into your history, like years, and just saying this goes against our community guidelines. What?
Yeah. They'll go back. I mean, people I know, I think the furthest I've seen someone go back was 4 years.
I saw 2.
2, okay.
Recently, yeah. I saw something that was like 2 years old.
Well, they keep pulling up your memories.
Yeah.
You said this 4 years ago. You said this 9 years ago. Well, guess what? You weren't supposed to say it at all. You're in jail.
I just think it's very important for us to start looking at things like that. Now, here's the thing. I get it. That can be costly. There's some people who can't afford to run a site, run a website, I get that. Find a friend, save up the money, do what you got to do, because I'm telling you right now, some of these platforms, don't get caught your pants down. Start building elsewhere. You can redirect that traffic. Look, OnlyFans. Just to, I guess be topical. OnlyFans is switching up there. You can still show your boobies and everything else. You just can't show yourself interacting with the boobies. So there's no hardcore stuff on there anymore. They're gonna let if the girl wants to pose naked, guy wants to pose naked, that's fine. But the minute someone interacts with their naked body, that's gonna be considered porn.
Yes, but what about a hand bra?
You can do that.
Yeah, she can do hand bras.
It can't be anything penetrating.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No bodily fluids, no penetrating, no oral stimulus.
Me and Brandon have to take down our Bukkake Blessings site on OnlyFans. It's
We weren't here to talk about our porn career, buddy.
But it's amazing that it's built off. I mean, like literally built off the backs of a lot of people who are in that industry, and
No pun intended.
Yeah,
and then,
Yeah.
and then they take it away. Then they're like, "Hey, we want to go legit. You're out."
yeah.
I mean,
And-
I saw that. I assume that they have a large enough base of non-adult content, but I've never heard anything about it other than it was just adult content. So,
Well, you know, when I first started Last Call Comics, we had a bunch of booth girls, and I wanted to give the booth girls a present, so we made them a website. And of course, the minute I started saying, "Hey, well, you're gonna have access to new pictures from the girls and all this shit," I thought people would love it, and people did. They did like it. The problem came where individuals, well, the payment processing was always difficult because you need to have a subscription model. At that time, PayPal did not offer a subscription model service. They do now. They didn't back then. And PayPal needs to know where their service is being used. Well, if it's anything they consider high risk, you have to have a high risk gateway. Now, we weren't showing nudity, but the minute I said, well, I have my booth models on the site, they were like, oh, well, no, that's high risk. So you have to pay for the gateway. Now, that gateway is $500, but it's $500 for MasterCard and $500 for Visa. So that's $1,000 a year.
Wow.
To process those. So you're already now $1,000 over your head. That doesn't include making the site, making pictures, all that shit can, weigh you down. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it was 500 too. It was set up to be like a certain amount of processors they would do. So if you had a small site, I think it was like $500. I can imagine that a place like OnlyFans, they may have a higher dollar amount. I'm sure theirs isn't 500. They're probably paying $2,000 to $3,000 a year just for one card service. But that's the push to go corporate or the push to go legit because the banks are forcing them. That's all. That's my rant. Just build your own platform. Mm-hmm. Start looking at platforms that will not switch it up on you in 3-4 years. After they made millions on you.
Well, that's why I personally like sites like Steemit and Hive because they're blockchain based, so they're not going to. They can't delete your content. I mean, certainly the community itself can kind of hide your stuff, or they can choose not to see it, but they can't just destroy it. Yeah. And what's nice about that too is, unlike Facebook, you put content up there and you can earn crypto. And I know a lot of people they're like, ooh, crypto, the magic internet, funny money. But honestly, I've paid bills with it. So, and I've been doing that for several years.
Yeah. Eric is heavy into crypto, and he's playing. I understand it. But I have yet to make the plunge into buying any of it. I should. I did think about developing a coin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But that'll wait. That's part 2 of my plot take over the world.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs Vericoin. Oh, so we're sitting here at $78. Jim, mm-hmm. I know that you've had the success on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
This is a flexible goal. So no matter what, are you going to fit? So let's say this book doesn't get over $100. That's your goal was $500. Are you still going to produce the graphic novel?
Yeah, like I said, so the book itself is already, like I said, this isn't funding the book itself. It's just for anybody who wanted to get in and get a copy, or just be a part of it. So like I said, anything extra that's made on this outside of the printing and shipping costs, it's going right back to future projects. So so either way, yeah, if we get 2 people, we get 1,000 people, we're gonna push the books out to them. Like I said, I'm excited. I want to see, the first time I had one of my comics printed in my hand, it was just a great moment. And I kind of really am excited to feel like the graphic novel in my hand for the first time. I've never done that with any of my previous books. So even if it's just me, I'm going to at least get one so I can hold it. Put it on my shelf next to the other ones and say, yep, that's mine right there.
Speaking of books, one can hold. Got it right here.
I can let you know that a lot of my people on Twitter are retweeting my post about your book.
Oh, I appreciate it. Like I said,
hopefully that turns into backers for you.
It's funny. So with Kickstarter, when I started that, I always was told Kickstarter is, the fan base is like Facebook and Instagram. So I put a lot of my, like I said, I'm not a big social media guy. So I've been trying my best to really get into that. So I put my attention into Instagram. And like I said, it seemed to have a good turnaround. Then when I did Indiegogo, it was like, no. For them, it's Twitter. And I'm like, crap, I haven't put anything into Twitter. So now I'm trying to do the same thing to Twitter. Just getting more out content on it. I don't want to spam just the same things. I'm trying to make it at least when I, put stuff out, people who are following me aren't just exactly like, yeah, it's just an advertisement. So feel free to engage, that kind of thing. So
Twitter and Facebook were the big ones for me when I was doing my Indiegogo.
Facebook? Twitter
and Facebook.
Yeah. I got good response. I get good responses on the Facebook links, but I haven't had anybody actually go to from the link to purchase anything. But likes, things like that, shares, and so on. So there's a lot of great people in the indie community who are supportive, which is great. They're helping, trying to get the word out as best they can. So I really appreciate that.
And we forgot to mention, you were the winner of Pitches Be Crazy today.
I know. I had to sing in a Amy Winehouse song, and I only knew like half the song. That was like, of all the artists, it's like, crap, my wife would have been great at it. She loves her, but I don't know anything of hers, so I was kind of screwed.
You did good.
So it was definitely interesting for sure. I'm generally a shy person, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah, Glenn messaged me afterwards. That means one of the funnest shows he'd been on. He really had a good time, so I appreciated that because it's I was glad everybody had a good time. It's one of the shows that I think we work hard on trying to put together, just because it's so fluid. It's such a fluid show. We never know. Like it also gets difficult to book that show.
It does.
Yeah. I could see, because I would at least say for myself and my limited experience with other creators and writers, we generally don't seem like a very boisterous bunch or whatever that's just going to be like, yeah, let's just do all these crazy characters and stuff. A lot of us are probably in the same boat as me, where it's like going really out of our comfort zone. So I can see why some people are hesitant.
Yeah, like the crazy characters go into writing or on the page, we usually don't have to act it out. So.
None, Glenn.
Yeah.
You should thirsty. Yeah, you should show some support. Let us drink.
So we need to have, was it Karen Nicole was on last time? I think I was.
Yeah.
Here? So get her back on. She'll always push a lot of sales for you guys to get super drunk.
Oh yeah. So. I gotta tell you guys, I do not remember much from last night. I'm glad the show wasn't last night. Otherwise, I would not be here.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did. I don't know if I over medicated. I don't know if I
He was high as a kite.
Yeah, I was totally gone, and I think I did over medicate by accident. And I slept very well until this morning. This morning I woke up like, oh, what's wrong with me?
I thought it was a murder scene in my bed.
Yeah. Apparently I became a lady. My illness caused me to bleed. I had no idea. So it was a nice murder scene.
I was glad I had a shirt on. I ran out of the bedroom not thinking. All I had was a shirt on.
Yeah. Well, you wake up next to a pool of blood. It's like, what happened here? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably top 3 things you don't want to wake up covered in. Than the first thing in the morning.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah,
Well, that might explain your comment of how you felt this morning. When everyone's like, "How you feel?" You're like, "Half-ass dead."
Yeah. I was. I lost a lot of blood, and I had to go in and get looked at. So it was.
No, Glenn, we are not going. We're getting ready for a business trip next week.
Yeah. I would love to go to Astronomicon, but I just could not find the time to do it this week. I really wanted to. If they would have still been at the Sterling Heights location. Was it Sterling Heights? Or was that one?
Yeah.
It would have been the other location. I would have made an appearance at least today or yesterday or even tomorrow. But they're in Ann Arbor. They had to move that facility. They were having it. I don't think they're a facility anymore. I think they've since gone under. Like so many of the other non-chained hotels, they're starting to do. They're kind of closing up shop. And yeah, that's what happened. So they got a new location and just can't make it out there. It's a lot of time. Well, it takes about an hour maybe to get out there. Probably in Ann Arbor.
And our car's down.
Yeah. So
well, you can't drive anywhere, so
yeah, even if I could drive, I can't drive right now. Yeah, but we're gonna be there. But I've been following the pictures and everything going on from Astronomicon. Looks like everybody's having a good time. I've been to the last 3 did we go to?
We've only gone to one.
Really? Just one?
Yeah.
I could have sworn we've gone to 2 Astronomicons.
Just one.
Really? Maybe I went without you. I don't know.
Trying one more time.
It's funny, the local con here, the big one's Denver Comic-Con, but where I'm at, we're a little outside Denver. They started about 5 years ago, and they've changed locations like every time, and they settled in a mall, and it was kind of a bummer. And then finally this year, the one I don't go to is when they finally put it in somewhere huge. That's a perfect location. I was like, oh, they just waited for me not to attend it to finally put it somewhere good.
Yeah, don't take it personal.
I kind of did. Now I've been there since the beginning. I probably go to apply next year and I won't get in or something.
Oh,
I've planned cons before, and I've helped people who have planned cons, but I remember going around just doing the venue searching, and that could be difficult. Randy, before you did the FlintCon, how many places did you look at?
One. Well, no. After I did the FlintCon, I started looking around for other places. I did look at a couple of places in other little, in the area, but in the smaller suburbs, banquet halls and that, and it just wasn't worth it to me. So I stayed with the farmers market, and then with the Saginaw show, I was invited in. So they asked me to come up there and put up a show.
Right, and you see, like the places I was looking at, they were always the first thing they asked me.
You were looking at the big arenas.
Yeah. I looked at Cobo Hall at one point. I was quoted, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't do that. It's law."
I'll drink the sign-ups.
Okay.
So if anyone signs up, I'll drink. I got 14 followers so far, which is really good for me because I haven't been advertising it.
Now, Lola, I want to ask you something because you did a big sign-up page. You did a big 2 month long sign-up drive. For
on Indiegogo?
Yeah.
No, I only did half a month, maybe.
Wait, I remember you did a long sign-up drive, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Did you see a big turnover? Did you see those sign-ups come back? Because
no.
So did any of them come back? Or do you not know?
I'm gonna say maybe 4 or 5.
And you had how many? You remember?
I don't know offhand.
When you're saying signups, do you mean like the notify me or like an email sign up type thing?
Yeah.
So that's funny because I've always heard everybody always tells me that needs to be your pre-launch. That's get the emails, get the pre-sign, the signups ahead of time. And you're saying it really didn't seem to matter.
It didn't work for me.
But see, I had someone tell me they got 2,000 signups and only 10 people came back from the sign-up list.
Yeah, it did not work for me.
So I don't get that. Now, I got a book on the importance of mailing lists. And I'll never forget, I got this book. I came home super excited. These guys are the masters of mailing lists. I'm going to check it out. And the fucking book, excuse my French, but the book is around chapter 2. I figured out I haven't had because they were trying to sell me additional product that they had created to
Mm.
accumulate these mailing lists. So this book that they put out was nothing more than a sales tool to get me to go sign up for their email aggregation service. And I'm like, fuck you. I threw the book across the room.
Those are the shady marketers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a follower. Oh. Ooh,
Follower. Guess we have to.
guess I can drink.
Glenn said that Comic-Con is too far for him, and I was like an hour to an hour and a half drive. This is the first Astronomicon I'm missing. Yeah, I mean it was. I'm glad to see them grow. But
That's some sour shit.
what's wrong, Lo?
Yeah, that when I was telling you, that's why they keep just getting bigger and bigger, which is great to see. So it means there's quite a demand, at least in town, for it. So
You know what? I messed up. I did not ask. I know I should have asked any of the ladies to do it for me, but I didn't do it. I forgot. I wanted to ask Meredith and Ornita to buy me a MegaCon hat
Mm.
while they were at the con. That's a big show. The show alone got lost at when we went because they have 2 T-shirt towers, which I think for me too. That's what I must have missed from the cons. I'll know when the cons are back when I see my tower of T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'll know. Cons are back. Everything's fine.
Did they have the tower there, Meredith?
I didn't see one.
Normally styling, they put up like a big.
It's huge. You can't miss
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I didn't see one. They
I-
had a whole lot of vendors and
Mhm.
things, but I think even that wasn't full capacity. And you had a lot of people who canceled
Mhm.
last minute. So you had artists who were sitting there going, "Hey, there's blank table. There's nobody sitting there," and they were able to spread out, which was kind of nice for them.
I seen. I hear that people were able to take tables next to them
Mhm.
because the person that canceled.
Well,
so
that actually happened to Silverline with the Rolling Man. He had a table, and the people I think on either side of him didn't show up. So they were like, "Hey, if you want to spread out," so he's like, "I'll take all 3." And in fact, see, Michael Lanning had his first experience behind the table as an artist.
He's never been behind the table.
He was
Yeah.
he got to sit behind the table, and he had his pencils and he had a sketch pad, and he was doing art. He was talking about some of the books. I think he featured Calico of Shard as well. So there was that too. So it was kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
do
And
any of
he
you
brought-
do the major?
Brought his
I'm sorry, Meredith.
portfolio. Yep, he brought his portfolio, and so he was, people were flipping through his pages. So that was
I
kind
seen
of cool.
Nita put a picture of that up. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think it was me. It was Nita. Yeah.
Sorry, Jim. What was that?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just saying, do you guys do any of the big cons like San Diego, New York, or was it like Seattle? I guess, or some of the big ones, Utah.
I want to.
Yeah, I've done New York. I've done C2E2. A lot of money. Wizard World Chicago. Done that several times.
I love that show.
Is C2E2 always in December?
No.
I was going to say, because the last thing I want to do
It's
is go
around.
to Chicago in December.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know that I'm kind of, you guys are gonna laugh at this. I kind of wanted to go to Wizard World this year, not Chicago. Even if I don't set up, I kind of want to go now, knowing that this is gonna be the last one that's just branded Wizard World.
Yeah.
Next year, Fan Expo's taking over. We don't know
Yeah,
that
but do you think that they're going to get rid of like Wizard World? Because
I
they
think
did
they
it with
will.
MegaCon.
Yeah, I think they will.
Fan Expo owns MegaCon.
Yeah.
And it's more than Orlando. I think there's MegaCon. Is it Dallas or MegaCon like Houston or something like that?
I
I mean,
think
they've got a few of them, but they kept MegaCon because
I'm waiting for them to sue the MegaCon up here. There's no, I hope they don't sue them, but there's a MegaCon in Michigan with 2 G's.
Yeah.
yeah, even February is like, oh, that's still cold in
It normally is around Varian's birthday.
Mhm.
C2E2, yeah, C2E2.
It's normally in March.
Sometimes it's in April. I've butted heads with it a couple times. doing the Flint show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very weird that how they're laid, and the cons now are just back to back. So you got to figure out where you're going because everyone's in a rush to get back.
Especially right now. Yeah.
Well,
They're
Jim, have you ever had a table?
Oh yeah, I haven't gone out of state, but I've done like Denver Comic Con, which is the big one out here, Colorado Springs Comic Con, and then lots of smaller ones all over the state. So, yeah, I like doing Comic Cons a lot. It's a lot of work, like like you're saying. For me, it's exhausting just meeting people all day. Even if you're just sitting there, I always feel like drained afterwards.
Yeah.
Talking to people.
So, I mean, do you have goals for 22, or are you looking at 23 maybe?
I'm kind of, like I said, I'm super paranoid still about the COVID. Since I've had it and it hospitalized me, I'm not in a rush to go get it again.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I was kind of waiting out this year to see if the crowds are returning just yet. I mean, I've heard, from some places they have. So I'm hoping next year I can start going back. Denver Con's getting a little bit harder to get into for independent artists, which is unfortunate because it's a big one. But they're obviously kind of gearing towards more booths like merchandise, known artists like from Marvel or DC, and then really ramping up their stars showcase, I guess. So it's harder and harder to get in. Yeah, and like I said, our big one's coming up this weekend, which unfortunately the Colorado Springs one, which is where I'm at, that's the one I want. They finally moved it to a good venue, and that's the one I'm not in. So
Oh man.
yeah,
Thanks.
I was there when they had it in. It was an old grocery store that was converted into like this whatever center, but they didn't change the lights. So where the artists were under like the heat lamps, where they used like the heat lights for the produce section or something. So everybody was just drenched in sweat. It was so hot. But then the side with all the celebrities was so cold they were freezing. It was hilarious.
That was Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Over the weekend.
it got kind of warm on our side, but they opened the doors. It wasn't Grand Rapids. It was the venues workers didn't know they opened a particular door to suck all the air out, and all the heat rose and rays came in, and they fixed it. By the second day, it was better. By the third day, they got it figured out.
Hail, Doris.
Doris,
How are you?
Hey.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Baron.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, for me, after that, my greatest con purchase was a little desk fan that takes batteries. Every con I'm at, I'm like, this is my favorite item, and I pull it out first thing and get it set up. Because every con I'm at always gets too hot.
That fan she's holding up was not hers. It is not hers. That fan was stolen from me.
It's got a stand too.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to get a bigger one. I got like a camping fan that takes like 4 or 6 like D-cell batteries or something.
I got one that it's USB powered.
Oh, nice.
This one's USB powered.
Yeah, that was close to USB as well. Yeah, but I got a big metal one that pulls it as USB and it kicks out some air.
Oh, I think I have one of those. Yeah, they're really good.
I've never ever taken him to cons. That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, I have to. Like I said, I'm a big guy. I'm hot. It'd be like 50 degrees out. I'm still hot. So in a room full of 1 million people, I'm like, whew, I need some air.
Randy, I was talking to an older gentleman on Facebook who messaged me after he had met Indie Vote at the con. He said, I think that cons need to go back into areas where there usually weren't shows, like the malls. Start reaching back out to the normies and getting them involved in cons. But then I thought, no one goes to the mall anymore.
Malls are dead.
Well, they are catching hell. There's like maybe 14 stores in the mall that do well. That you put them in the mall, people come to the mall for those stores, and they aren't your anchor stores anymore. It used to be where if a mall could secure a JCPenney, a Hudson, so that shows how old I am. What's the Marshall Fields now, right? Marshall Fields, a Macy's, Lord & Taylor, they secured those type of anchor stores. They were good. And then people stopped going to Lord & Taylor. And
you heard about Macy's, right?
No.
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us.
Oh yeah.
I'm moving in.
Yeah.
Into Macy's. Yeah. We have a great mall up here that was just booming back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, you had the fight for space and even kiosk space was at a hard premium. And now there was, at one point, everybody was moved out except for Bath and Body Works. A gym moved in, Planet Fitness moved in. They had an anchor store that was a Penny's and an anchor store that was a Dunham's, but everything in between, there was like 2 or 3 stores, and all the rest of it was just empty storefronts. But now the local museum, because they were renovating, moved into the mall. And the Flint Public Library has now moved into that mall and taken over almost one whole side of the mall. And now there's a couple other little stores coming in, but the mall doesn't look anything like it did back in the 70s, but it's still busy. It's pretty crazy and unique.
There's
That's
only
cool.
3 stores I go to when I go to the mall.
See, I was about a pretzel shop too. You know, they need to put the pretzel shops outside the malls. Well, I won't have any reason to go in.
Well, so I mean, I keep bringing up the local Comic-Con, but that's what they actually did here. So the mall, the big mall in my area, they converted. I think it was the Sears and the J.C. Penney's. They tore them all. I mean, they were gone, so they cleared them out, and they actually tried to convert them into some sort of like area to host stuff like the Comic-Cons. And so the local Comic-Con was there, and I thought, oh, that's a great idea because you're going to get traffic from the mall crowd and you're going to get traffic from the Comic-Con crowd. But and at least from my experience from the 2 times I did it there, it was a big con. You know, there was a lot of big stars they had there. It was a big area, so lots of size. But everybody would come into the con to kind of check it out. They'd peruse it, and then they'd go shop in the mall and spend all their money there. And then once they were done shopping, they'd come back and do like another walkthrough. So everybody we're talking to was, especially like the Funko buyers, they did okay, but then they would just go to like Hot Topic and go buy the ones they wanted there. So it seems like it hurts sales because it helps them all, I'm sure, but people mostly will just go spend their money in like the food court or the other stores, and then the people who were trying to, like the vendors who normally sell like food at Comic-Cons kind of get hosed.
Yeah, that's it. They were.
Well, the cool thing for the farmers market shows that I did is that we caught people coming in and we'd give them a wristband or stamp the back of their hand. They'd come in and look around early on, and then about noon, they'd go out and eat. And the farmers market, especially the one here in Flint, is renowned for all of the different eateries that they have. They'd go and have a quiet lunch. That's usually the time I have the costume contest. And then they would come back in about 1:30 and buy. And there were times that it got to be 5 o'clock, and I'm literally pushing people out the door. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, because your cons were one day, so it was single serving, get in there, get out.
Yeah, but it was like 2 waves of the same people. You know, they'd come through and look and buy the stuff that they absolutely had to have. Then they'd go have lunch. Then they'd come back and browse again and buy the stuff that they didn't know they needed. So it was a good time. Everybody was happy.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, guys, we are at our hour mark.
Hooray.
It went by quick. It went. Here's Pops.
I had a Smirnoff Pops, but I drank it all.
I was drinking sour apple.
The local mall had a vendor show, but a blizzard hit and no people were showing up. Yeah, you got to be careful with that because back in the day, Marvel used to send actors around, actors to play the character. So they had somebody they trained to play Spider-Man. So this person would just be like the regional Spider-Man. So they had one for, I'm guessing, one for Michigan, one for every state, or maybe every 2 states or whatever. And this person, so they had a Captain America, they had a Hulk. These guys have to show up. Well, the Spider-Man, but they were trained by Marvel. Hey, hit these poses, do this, talk this way, and they were authorized by Marvel to sign your comic book. So they had them all show. Marvel had a presence there, and I got the Spider-Man book, and I got Spider-Man book, Captain America book, Hulk book. But I remember they only signed one book. So I went to the guys, and my mother was so upset. I remember her face. And she didn't tell me for years, but she told my dad, because my dad kind of looked at her and laughed. As I went to each of these, I went to Captain America, he signed my book. Spider-Man, and then Hulk. And Hulk signed it, and it's really like childlike. You know, the L was back. I remember that. The K looked like really funny, but they signed the first page of this book. But the years later, my mother was very upset when I got the autograph from Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is doing what Spider-Man does. He's on the table. He's got one leg up. He's leaning forward, you know, and he's signing. And my mother says, "Why does he have to sit so hoish? His nuts are all in our son's face."
What?
Yeah, and he had his leg up on the table. It was a long table on a podium, and she did not like the fact that you could see the bulge of Spider-Man's, you know.
Oh my.
Yeah, she did not like that.
Oh my. At least he wasn't wearing shorts like they did in the 70s where they were like, falling out.
Yeah, no.
Oh, what, the nut huggers, whatever they call them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are going to come back if millennials have their way.
No, Varian, don't even say it. Take it back.
Hey, look, never mind. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I know this isn't indie vote. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm just saying, I seen some people rocking cat eye makeup at the show. I mean, I'm talking on fucking point, like cat eye makeup with different layers, layering technique, and at the same time, trimming their beard to the point where it was like, you go to them and you're like, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, how's it going, bro?" Like my eyes. It's like, but you know what? The thing is, I thought that shit looked great.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hate. That looked great. I can't hate. It was unexpected is all. I might start doing it.
I have no idea what you're referring to when you say cat eyes.
Cat eye makeup. It's the women do this thing where they draw
goes from like your eye and up.
Yeah.
Oh, like I think I've always seen that with like usually like Egyptian art, like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
They all want to look like Yu-Gi-Oh characters. That's all.
Oh, okay.
It's called the cat eye.
Yeah. I know where it came from. They want to look like anime characters. I'm doing a cat eye. You want to look like Sailor Moon. I know what you're doing with those wild eyes. Or Michael Turner, piece of art, which is rest his soul, favorite artist. Go.
So all our listeners, guys, go show some love, and Back Dig 2 Graves is now funding on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Go pick it up. Go pick it up now.
Yeah.
It's a trade. One complete story.
I agree with that sentiment. Just go there now and just buy it blindly. Don't even read nothing. Just buy it.
Well, the art is fantastic in it.
It is.
Yeah, I'm pretty much told, like, hey, even if you don't like the story, the art's so good, it'll make up for it. But obviously, I'm hoping that they love both. So, but yeah, Vaughn is amazing. So I'm sure I'm going to have to be fighting him against other, real publishers soon enough here.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Lola, you taking us out of here, ma'am?
I am. Where can Meredith? Where can you be found?
You guys can find me at RagenAVC.com. We've got most of our links, as well as linktree.com/RagenAVC. You can follow me everywhere. Just don't peek at my windows, because that's weird.
I'll peek just a little.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Jim, where can we find you at?
I'm on SN Comics Art at Twitter. You can just find me either SN Comics on Facebook or just Jim Tanner if you just want to chat me directly, and SN Comics on Instagram.
Mr. Zim.
Hey, you can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. You can, more importantly, you can find Arrow Comics 4.0 on Facebook under Arrow Comics 4.0 and Friends of Arrow Comics 4.0. You can look at our link tree, visit our Instagram, go to our Twitter, and take a look at all the different products that we are offering to the distributors, available exclusively through Liberty Entertainment Distributors. Plus, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., hopefully, for another episode of Sunday Funnies, where we try to put the fun back into funny books. We talk about the more lighter and more whimsical side of comics. And then Varian and myself and the Indie Princess will be back Tuesday night for the Livewire program. And then I think everybody's taking a vacation.
Yes. No, it's not a vacation.
It's always a vacation. It's a business vacation.
Workcation.
It's tax deductible.
I like tax deductible.
I don't know
like it a
what
lot.
you want, Pops.
Let's say we're all taking a business trip.
Yeah, that's what I said. We're taking a business trip.
There we go.
If I want to, do you want a link to the Get to Grave page?
I posted the link for Dig Two Graves, and I posted the link for my sign-up page for lore.
Mm-hmm.
So go check it out, guys. Mr. Grant,
Oh yeah, KYD was with me.
we can't hear you.
Oh shit, you can. All right.
KYD_View on Twitter. Check out indievote.com and its many offerings, IndieVote TV, IndieVote Radio. Check those out, and then make sure you pop over to ledg.us, helping the creators get their comics or indie comics or quality indie comics in stores all over the place. Doing a lot of work for that. That's one reason I'm going to New York. Big things happen. Yeah, and that's it for me. I'll keep my mouth shut. Less I talk, the better. You guys remember that when Varian gets quiet,
There's something wrong.
Well, something might be wrong, or he's got something up his sleeve. Something's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I need a press release from Liberty whenever that happens.
Oh yeah, you'll get one.
Yeah.
All right, do it. Do it.
Guys, you can find me. Go to Linktree indie_princess. All my links are there. I got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the great stuff. So go check it out. And I want to thank everyone who watched tonight. I appreciate it. And that is it for us tonight, guys.
Take us out of here.
You should see me in a crowd. I'm gonna run this nothing town. Watch me make them bow one by one by one. One by one by. You should see me in a crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make them bow one by one by one. One by one by. Count my cards, watch them fold. Blood on the marble wall.